Hello friends, today's question of the day is, what does day actually mean? We look at the books, well particularly the book of Genesis, and we see the account of creation, and it's clear in the account of creation that God created the world in 6 days. But some people ask questions about, well, maybe those days weren't the 24-hour day that we think of. Well, we're going to look at the text and see what it has to say. First, let's look at Genesis chapter 1. And what we're going to see is this refrain over and over and over again, starting in verse 5. And there was evening and there was morning the first day. Verse 8. And there was evening and there was morning the second day. Verse 13. And there was evening and there was morning the third day. And what we see is a clear pattern of God clearly showing us not just that he was using this word day and leaving it open to interpretation, but he intended it to be a 24-hour day with an evening and a morning. We know from the Hebrew that when he uses first or second or third before the word day, it always means a 24-hour literal day. So we have that. Then we look into the book of Exodus and we see the fourth commandment. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Verse 9, 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. What it's saying is God created this seventh day for us to rest and be refreshed and connect with him, focus on our relationship with him. But then in verse 11, it tells us why 1 day per week should be a day of rest. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. So the model for our current week, 6 days of work and 1 day of rest on Sunday, is the days of creation, when God worked for 6 days and rested for a day. He didn't work for 6 million years and rest for 1 million years. It was 24-hour days. So we see it clear from Scripture. When God said day, he meant day, 24-hour day. And we can rest in that and worship him and marvel at the fact that he created the universe in 6 days. And even more amazing, he rested when he didn't need rest to give us an example of how we should be resting in him to point us to Jesus. Hope this is useful. God bless.